Today is October 20th, 2014, and this is Before the First Cup with Zorie and Lady Pitbull on UCY.TV. Good morning, lady.
Hi, how are you?
Waking up, as usual, in the dark.
Oh my gosh, there's JJ in the chat room. Hi JJ. Hi guys.
Good morning, chatters.
Yeah. Is everybody?
Monday mornings. Aren't they grand?
Yeah. Oh, I had a real rough. I know I wasn't here
Right.
the latter part of the last week. But I I had to put my dog down. My last dog, the last dog I've got, and I had to put her to sleep. And on the same day that I did that, my buddy who was suffering from cancer, stage 4, died on the same day. So I've had like this big ass 1-2 punch right to my guts, and then my face, and then my
Yeah,
soul, and then my psyche.
that's
I've
so rough.
had kind of a hard time of it, guys. That's why I haven't been here. I'll try and hang in with you. I haven't. I feel like I just kind of crawled out from underneath a rock, so I don't know anything that's going on.
Yeah, well, that's
Um,
understandable, I mean, our pets are our families, especially if we live alone and we have our pet. And it's just as devastating as losing a family member.
it is, and just to have like your family member die and then a good friend die is rough.
Yeah.
My friend who died, at least I got to tell him how much I love him, and that's, all we can really do.
I know, some people go, well, uh, they knew it was coming and all, but, it doesn't change. You think you're prepared until that moment. And I don't care how much you prepare for it, it's still devastating.
Right.
Uh,
It's true. I feel like, I'm all heads in a fog and stuff. I mean, I gotta go to like the funeral like tonight and tomorrow, you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's like continuing, and I don't know. He was ready though. He was ready to, to go. He was like us. He saw what was coming and prepared quite well, in fact. So um his kids are sitting pretty right now,
Yeah.
which is really good. He just was like, I'm checking the hell out of here. Look at what's coming.
Oh, and it's coming quickly, too. Yeah. Yeah, just, yeah, I don't know. Time is the only thing that heals. I don't care what you say to people or how you try and console them. Nothing's going to help but time. And
Yeah.
eventually you think, well, I don't know. I always think the pain's never going to go away, but it does.
Yeah. Eventually, you
Mm.
know, it's I don't know, man. It's hard for me to get the words right now out. So bear with me, everyone.
All right, we will.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I don't know why I hadn't thought of this, but I was watching the Pig Mind slideshow. I didn't realize we were still bombing Pakistan.
Oh yeah, they just don't really report it all that much. You know what
I
I mean?
I know they were talking about all the drone hits that have been happening there, and just in the last week, and all the innocents dying. What for? What reason?
Well, it's part of their damn plan, the population curve. It just amazes me that Pakistan is just sitting there taking it.
I know. I mean, you see graves lined up, and they're all innocent citizens,
Right.
and I thought we had left Pakistan quite a while back,
Oh
right?
no. No, 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 no. They've got to keep their little, bombing campaigns going to keep the destabilization going. I mean, it's got to be destabilized and it's got to be destabilized right now.
Right, and why isn't why I don't yeah, you're right. I don't understand why the Pakistan government's putting up with this. That's a sovereign country. And we just
Absolutely.
bomb it and bomb it and bomb it until what? Till everybody's dead?
Yeah, I don't understand why the hell they can't just, take out the damn drones with, a couple of rocket launchers or,
Right.
I mean, what the hell? It just, I don't know, man. They're, I guess the
We are
Pakistanis are getting
destroying
used to it, I don't know.
I don't yeah, huh. I don't know. We are just literally destroying all those countries with all the bombings we're doing and and now I seen where it says the 101 the 101st Airborne won't get full protective hazmat suits for Ebola mission in West Africa.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the 101st Airborne won't get full protective hazmat suits for Ebola mission in West Africa.
Those guys need to, just before they get on the plane to go over there, unless they're already there, they need to just all sit down on their asses and do a protest. Like
Well, yeah,
they
it
get
says,
on the plane, we're not going. What the
yeah,
hell?
the article says they're being sent to West Africa but won't get full protective hazmat suits. Um, the Airborne is a U.S. Army modular modular light infantry division trained for air assault operations. The division was renowned for its role on D-Day. Major General David H. Petraeus led the Screaming Eagles to war in 2003 during Operation Iraq Freedom. The administration says they won't need them. It says troops from the 101st Airborne Division leading the military response to Ebola in West Africa will only need gloves and masks to protect themselves from the deadly virus, so said General David Rodriguez at a Pentagon briefing Wednesday. They don't need the whole suit as such because they're not going to be in contact with any of the people, the commander of U.S. troops in Africa said. Soldiers from the 101st Airborne will primarily be building hospitals, ultimately leading what could be a contingent of 4,000 American service members. They'll be housed either in tent cities or military airfields or in Liberian Ministry of Defense facilities, Rodriguez said. Soldiers' health will be monitored through surveys and taken their temperature on their way in and out of camp. If a serviceman does get sick, Rodriguez said, then they will fly them immediately home for treatment. So we're sending our guys over in the middle of an epidemic without protection. How can they say they won't run into anybody over there? This is crazy.
It's obvious what's going on. It's super freaking obvious. They're, I don't know, man.
Yeah, and if
I
one
can't
gets sick,
even,
we'll send them home.
I don't even know what the hell to say about it anymore. This is obvious treason. This is obviously, and nobody's, it just keeps happening and happening and happening, and nobody is getting held accountable for
It is
any of this
start,
crap.
yeah, it is starting to show though. Like I seen where Obama uh, joined in this fund campaign. With I forget. I think the guy's from Utah. I'm not sure. Anyway, this guy who's running for office, and he went there, and people started leaving while he was talking. So, you know, for people to do that, that's pretty bad.
Oh, they
When
got up and left.
yeah, they got up and left while he was speaking.
Well,
And so,
it's. I mean, a lot more than that needs to be done. You know what I mean?
yeah,
How about arresting him,
putting him
training
in
him,
prison.
yeah, and put him into prison? I
Yeah, and
mean,
he just continues and keeps on and keeps on. And we're sending 4,000 troops, 4,000 guys to West Africa, but we won't put any on our borders.
exactly, exactly.
So
And
what are we? Just nothing. I mean, our protection doesn't matter. We have to be over there showing how great we are because we're helping other countries while ours just deteriorates.
absolutely. Here's another one that says U.S. humanitarian aid is going to ISIS.
Yeah, I seen that heading. What's that about?
This is not only our foodstuffs, medical supplies, even clinics, entire clinics, like they're deploying in Africa, going to ISIS. The distribution networks are also paying ISIS's taxes and putting
What?
ISIS people on their payrolls.
What?
Alright, guys, this shit is getting more dystopically insane. Okay, in Turkey, while U.S. warplanes strike at the militants of the so-called Islamic State in both Syria and Iraq, truckloads of U.S. and Western aid has been flowing into territory controlled by the jihadists, assisting them to build their terror-inspiring caliphate. The aid, mainly food and medical equipment, is meant for Syrians displaced from their hometowns and for hungry civilians. It is funded by the U.S. Agency for International Development, European donors, and, the United Nations, of course. And whether it continues now is the subject of anguished debate among officials in Washington and Europe. The fear is that stopping aid would hurt innocent civilians and would be used for propaganda purposes by the militants, who would likely blame the West for added hardship. Oh my god. The Bible says, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him something to drink. Doing so will heap burning coals of shame on his head. But there is no evidence that the militants of the Islamic State, widely known as ISIS and Al Qaeda, or ISIL and Al Qaeda, feel any sense of disgrace or indignity, and certainly not gratitude, receiving charity from their foes. What the hell, you guys? Quite the reverse. The aid convoys have to pay off ISIS emirs, ISIS leaders, for the convoys to enter the system, the eastern Syrian extremist strongholds of Raqqa and Deir ez-Zor, providing yet another income stream for ISIS militants who are funding themselves from funding themselves from oil smuggling, extortion, and the sale of whatever they can loot, including rare antiquities from museums and archaeological sites, as well. And that was the end of that sentence, but I'm also going to include, they're also getting funding from the European Union, the Saudis, and the U.S. So,
Right.
to include that too.
This has gone so over the top. It's like, oh, another war, and people just like take it as it is. Nobody gets excited anymore. Nobody, uh, you know, it's just we become so acceptant of war here. That is the most scariest part of all to me. When they said they were going to send jets over, to fight ISIS now. It was no big deal.
Right. Exactly.
It's like an everyday thing. Oh, we're going into another war. Okay,
Right.
we're going to go kill more innocent people.
Right.
And how they can say these jet strikes, these bombing strikes, they don't even take into account the innocents. I don't even.
They're not even reporting the Pakistani airstrikes anymore. They're just not even. You know what I mean? Out of sight, out of mind. If nobody knows about it or nobody pays attention, it's not really happening, even though it's totally happening, like on an everyday basis.
I
This
know,
is
and we don't have any clue of. I was watching this little clip over the weekend, and I mean, it really brought it home to how deceptive and stuff. Like they had these people walking up by, one guy, you know, pointed at a guy, whatever, and all they did was change the background, and the whole thing changed. Like put him in a war zone, change his clothes, and there, and the background, and you would have swore it was real.
yeah, yeah,
And we've caught the news has been caught, doing war scenes here in the States. They aren't even over there. They're doing it on set. So how do you know what's going on, really? I mean,
well, you don't because there's so much crap going on.
just
Um,
like 1984, we're at war with them, then we're at war
right,
with them, and now, like today, I just found out about we're still bombing Pakistan, so we're at war with them again, and now they are buddies. Now we're at war with them. I
right,
mean,
right.
it's
Exactly.
1984, and the people just accept it, and we are.
Right, absolutely. Um, should I continue with this
Yeah, please
article?
do.
Let's see. I'm gonna try to skip the dumb shit and kind of go through. Let's see. Um, basically, they're saying that the convoys have to be approved by ISIS, and you have to pay them. The bribes are disguised and itemized as transportation costs, said an aid coordinator who spoke to the Daily Beast on the condition he not be identified in this article. The kickbacks were either paid by foreign or local non-governmental organizations tasked with distributing the aid, or by the Turkish or Syrian transportation companies contracted to deliver it. Oh my god. And there are fears that the aid itself isn't carefully monitored enough, really. Um, with some sold off on the black market or used by ISIS to win hearts and minds by feeding its fighters and its subjects. At a minimum, the aid means ISIS doesn't have to divert cash from its war budget to help feed the local population or the displaced persons, allowing it to focus on its resources exclusively on fighters and war making. Critics said of the aid. Oh my god! If anybody believes this, man, I got a bridge to sell you. One of the striking differences between ISIS and terror groups of the past is its desire to portray the territory as conquered, as well as a well-organized and smoothly functioning state. The soldiers of Allah do not liberate a village, town, or a city only to abandon its residents and ignore their needs, declares the latest issue of the group's slick online magazine.
Oh, so they're
Dottie.
conquering them, and then they're staying there and feeding them and taking care of
Yeah,
them?
that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Oh my god. Elsewhere, the publication are pictures of slaughtered Kurdish soldiers and a gruesome photograph of American journalist, blah 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 blah, severed head resting on his body, blah blah blah. Let's see. Last year, a polio outbreak in Deir ez-Zor raised concerns throughout the region about the spread of an epidemic. The World Health Organization worked with the Syrian government with opposition groups to try and carry out an immunization campaign. This has continued. Of course it has. In response to a query by the Daily Beast, a WHO spokesperson said, "Our information indicates that vaccination campaigns have been successfully carried out by local health workers in ISIS-controlled territory. Oh, isn't that wonderful?
Oh, this gets more crazier
I
by
know.
the
That's why I
minute.
wanted to continue to read it.
Oh my God.
I'm
Go.
alarmed that we're providing support for ISIS governance, says Jonathan Schanzer, a Mideast expert with the Washington, D.C. based think tank Foundation for Defense of Democracies. Oh, isn't that wonderful? By doing so, we are indemnifying the militants by satisfying their core demands of local people who could turn on ISIS if they got frustrated. What? It didn't even make any sense. U.S.
Well, it did in a way because they've gone in and conquered them, and the people are being passive. But if they get angry, they could turn on them.
Right, which should be the very thing happening right now.
Yeah.
U.S. and Western relief agencies have been caught before in an aid dilemma when it comes to the war on terror. Oh, really? Last December, the Overseas Development Institute, here we go. The Overseas Development Institute, an independent British think tank focusing on international development and humanitarian issues, yeah, right, reported that aid agencies in Somalia had been paying militants from the Al Qaeda offshoot Al Shabaab for access to areas under their control during the 2011 famine. I'm laughing at this, man.
Oh, you got it.
Just
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on in, guys. We have
Here
no
we go.
problem with this.
Al Shabaab demanded from the agencies what it described as, registration fees of up to $10,000, and in many cases Al Shabaab insisted on distributing the aid, keeping much of it for itself, according to the ODI. The think tank cited Al Shabaab's diversion of food aid in the town of Biota, where it kept between half and 2/3 of the food for its own fighters. The researchers noted the Al Qaeda affiliate developed highly sophisticated system of monitoring and co-opting the aid agencies and setting up a quote humanitarian coordination office unquote. Something similar appears to be underway now in various Syrian provinces. Aid coordinators with NGOs partnering USAID and other Western government agencies, including Britain's Department for International Development, say ISIS insists that the NGOs, foreign and local, employ people ISIS approves on their staff inside Syria. What? How are these? Oh my God, this is just.
They're employing them.
Yeah.
Giving them jobs.
Well, yeah, it's.
And they're paying tax. ISIS is paying taxes all along this.
No, we're paying ISIS taxes.
Oh, we're paying their taxes.
We're paying ISIS taxes. That's what.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there is at least one ISIS person on the payroll. They force people on us, says the aid coordinator. Sure. Yeah. And when a convoy is being prepared, the negotiations go through them about whether the convoy can proceed or not. They contact their emirs, and a price is worked out. We don't have to wrangle with individual ISIS field commanders once approval is given to get the convoy in, as the militants are highly hierarchical. He adds, none of the fighters dare touch it if an emir has given permission. So, in other words, we are paying them to send in our own aid.
Yeah.
So we're paying them. So we're paying. Oh my God.
And we're paying their taxes, and we've armed them, and we trained them. They're ours.
It says that isn't the case with other Syrian rebel groups, where arguments over convoys can erupt at checkpoints at main entry points into Syria, where aid is unloaded from Turkish tractor trailers and reloaded into Syrian ones. Many aid workers are uncomfortable with what's happening. Oh, really? A few months ago, we delivered a mobile clinic for a U.S. aid-funded NGO, says one, who declined to be named. A few of us debated the rights and the wrongs of this. The clinic was earmarked for treatment of civilians, but we all know that wounded ISIS fighters could easily be treated as well. Oh, do you think? So what are we doing here helping their fighters? Who are we bombing to be treated so that they can fight again? Oh my God. What becomes more. Alright, here we go. What becomes even more bizarre is that while aid is still going into ISIS-controlled areas, only a little is going into Kurdish areas in northeast Syria. About every 3 or 4 months, there is a convoy into the key city of Qumishli. I know I didn't say that right. Syrian Kurds, who are now defending Kobani with the support of U.S. warplanes, have long complained about the lack of international aid. Last November, tellingly, Syrian Kurds complained that Syria's Kurdistan was not included in a UN polio vaccination campaign. Well, you know what? Maybe that's a good thing.
Consider yourself lucky.
Yeah, UN agencies took the position that polio vaccines should go through the Syrian Red Crescent via Damascus when it came to the Kurds. The origins of the aid programs predate President Barack Obama's decision to degrade and defeat ISIS, but they have carried on without major review. The aid push was to reach anyone in need. A senior State Department official with detailed knowledge of the current aid programs confirmed to the Daily Beast that U.S. government-funded relief is still going into Raqqa and Deir ez-Zor, whatever the hell that is. He declined to estimate the quantity, but an aid contractor, when asked, responded, "A lot."
Damn.
The State Department official said he too was conflicted about the programs. Oh, really? Are you losing sleep at night, dude? Is this helping the militants by allowing them to divert money they would have spent on food?
Do you think, duh?
If aid wasn't going in, would they let people starve? Sure they would. This guy is a fucking moron. Is this right for us to withhold assistance and punish civilians?
No, we just bomb the hell out of them and kill them.
Exactly. Would the militants turn around as al-Shabaab did when many agencies withdrew from Somalia and blame the West for their starvation and hunger? Are we helping indirectly the militants to build their caliphate? I wrestle with this. Do you really?
God.
I'm almost done. Western NGO partners of USAID and other Western agencies declined to respond to the Daily Beast inquiries about international relief going to ISIS areas, citing the complexity of the issue and noting its delicacy. Oh, yes, it's in the interest of national security, isn't it? Mideast analyzer Schnauzer dismisses the notion that ISIS can dismisses the notion that ISIS can use aid shutdown as leverage in its PR campaign. I think this is false. In areas they control, everyone understands they are a brutal organization. This is their basic weakness by pushing in aid and curtailing the chances of an internal revolt, which is the best chance you have for bringing down ISIS. So whatever. Screw you, dude. I'm out of here with this. That was the end of it. Thank God.
That is one of the most idiotic articles I've heard in a long time.
I know. What the hell are you gonna do? I mean, there's so many people that are committing treason in DC right now. I say
It's
let's ship
yeah,
the Ebola victims right to DC.
yeah, really, huh? Let's see.
Yeah, let's see how like they're. Let's really test them and see how they're emerging.
Back to where it originated, maybe.
Yeah, back to where it originated. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched this one. I was like a semi documentary, and it was about uh this guy. I no, I think it was a new Ebola czar. That
Yeah,
that
that.
yeah, and he's there, and he's making his little speech and all, and the whole time I'm thinking, why, he says it first broke out in Africa in the 70s, and he's going on building up the history of it. And I'm thinking to myself, now why doesn't he say that it was originally from here? It's like he's oblivious of this.
Hmm.
It makes me wonder how many of our politicians really know, like, that
They're not
we
oblivious.
have the
They're
patent.
just trying to cover this shit up. That guy's not even a freaking doctor. I mean, he has no clue
Right. Right. Didn't he
whatsoever.
take care of the campaign or something for uh
Clinton.
Clinton?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. He was like, oh my god. And then he was appointed at high up in their cabinet, and then Obama appointed him when he got in, and oh
Yeah. I
god.
mean, it's like that guy they first put in charge of the FEMA camps. He was a horse. He raised horses, Arabian horses or something.
They
And
just feed all their butt buddies, you know what I mean? This is all they're doing. It's just, it makes me sick, man. It's just so criminal.
I know, and people just keep, I don't know. Well, we
There's a
see a lot
thing
more of what's
about it.
going on than the average person. Most people see their 6 o'clock news, they kind of listen to it in the background, and that's it.
Sure.
Yeah. And I wonder if it would affect people if they really knew how many innocents were being killed in their name. Because they don't really tell us. The news doesn't say anything like that.
No, but here's the thing. Everybody is so damn war weary that
They don't want to hear it.
yeah, it just becomes, just laissez-faire, whatever, oh, this is just part of life now. I mean, it doesn't affect me. I don't care. I've got to feed my family. I've got to go to work. I've got to, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh. And you even hear the news guys saying, uh people just, they don't want war anymore. They're tired of hearing it. They're tired. But look how casually we take this. People are dying. We are blowing up human beings, innocent children, women, men that never did anything to no one. And yet, oh, we don't want to hear about it. We're tired of it. It's so, I don't even know the word for it. But that's the part that sickens me so,
Oh, I know.
you know. I mean, our government's corrupt. We all know that. But our passiveness towards life, and how devastating it is to lose a loved one. How about these people that are losing whole families, or watching their children being blown to bits, or missing arms and legs? Can you even imagine? I
Right.
can't imagine what these people are going through, and we are supposed to believe that they want us there doing this. We're as bad as ISIS. I mean, ISIS, they show one beheading or something there, but look at how many we're killing, way more than they do.
Oh my god, are you kidding? Absolutely. I mean, they're just being funded and rolled out.
I mean,
This
speaking of
they're
terrorists,
using them to divide Iraq in three parts. You know what
but
I mean?
think about it. Who are the largest terrorists on the planet? How many countries have we gone in and devastated?
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And same things about ISIS and this, and we're still bombing people after 10 years of knowing that we went there on a lie.
Right. Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah, and even when we do end it and bring our guys home, how long did it take for us to send our jets back over there and our guys back over there? What, a month maybe?
Yeah. If
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, if that.
So
Wow.
I don't know. And everything now, have you noticed how they brought together Ebola and ISIS? Now it's
No,
all fun.
no, are they doing that? I haven't seen that.
Uh, let me see if I can find that one. But
Doesn't
well,
surprise
yeah,
me.
look at we have our guys that got our guys back over there was going over there to build hospitals to fight Ebola instead of fighting ISIS. A lot of our guys are over there fighting Ebola.
Right.
It's you know,
It's
uh,
insane, man.
it really, really is. It's just, and then you look at here back at home, the stuff that's going on, and that's being accepted. Like I came across this one thing, and this really, if you could see the picture, juvenile detainees locked in controversial device when verbal de-escalation is not working. Now they have this kid, uh, with like a lot, what do they call them? Those jackets that they put them in when they're disruptive. Uh,
A straight jacket?
Yeah, straight jacket with his
Really?
hands handcuffed behind his back. They have a strap going around his waist and over his shoulders and down and hooks his feet together. He is in this like sock thing and it comes up and then there's this big like football sized helmet thing with duct tape taped all around it with a face with big eyes drawn on it. And the kid is sitting in the hallway. Now this is what they do to kids when talking doesn't get it. I mean, they look. It's worse than how you would treat a war prisoner. And it goes Arkansas. Juvenile detention facilities across the state are coming under fire for using a disturbing restraint device that some are calling torture. The device is known as the RAP system. According to state officials, the device is used to restrain minor detainees when verbal de-escalation is not working, sometimes for hours on end. The system involves binding a child's arms and legs together using straps and handcuffs, and sometimes involves shrouding the child's face with a hood or a helmet. Photos from the Yale County Juvenile Detention Center in Dansville, Arkansas, have raised eyebrows following their exposure through the FOIA request. Questions are being raised about whether the treatment is ethical or humane. The Danville facility has been shown to strap detainees with a mask which appears to be covered with duct tape and decorated as a cartoonish, dehumanizing, cross-eyed elf. State Juvenile Ombudsman Scott Tanner was sent to investigate the device and tested it himself. He reported that the wrap caused difficulty breathing and increased anxiety. He also says it presents a risk for head injury and violates state standards, which say any placement of juveniles must be therapeutic and not punitive. Tanner said that the treatment was humiliating and traumatizing as it was done in front of other detainees. His report continued. I believe the manner in which the wrap restraint is being used in your center creates significant liability. This is magnified by deficiencies in both policy and documentation based on my own experience in the restraint and interviews of youth similar restraint. It is my opinion that the use of the wrap restraint on youth is inappropriate. Now, that's how accepting we have become of torture. These are what happened to protect the children.
Wait a minute. It's not torture. It's pressure.
Pressure, I see. Like
Do you
water.
remember that? Do you
Yes,
remember,
I
like,
do.
Gonzalez said that? I think it was Alberto Gonzalez.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
was
torture. It's
Alberto.
pressure.
Yeah, and we are
Don't
doing
think of
this
it as
to
torture.
we're doing this to our kids. You know,
No.
and I'm gonna I'll put the link in chat just so you can go look at the pictures of this. It is so appalling to me that I mean, kids, what in juvenile hall, most of them are just sent for minor things, but to treat them like that, I mean, they're like mummified. They're like a mummy, and you have this thing
Holy
helmet over
crap.
your
Look
head.
at the pictures on that. Dang, you ain't
Right,
kidding around. What? How are they breathing that?
right. He said it's hard for him to breathe, and I mean, and they leave him there for hours.
That is like, that's total torture.
Yeah, it's just so disgusting, and we accept this, you know, and the attitude of people, oh well, they deserved it because what they didn't go to school or
They
whatever reason.
disobeyed a direct order from a fascist pig
Right.
running the facility.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, I mean,
Really?
yeah, those pictures just they got to me this
That's
morning.
very disturbing. Yup, it's right there. And you dropped it in the chat room. So
Yeah, and they
that's,
leave them there like that for hours.
yeah.
And I'm sure all the kids go by and tease them, and that because they do it right in front of everybody.
Sure. That's pretty bad. That is definitely bad.
Yeah.
What the hell? I mean, we're
I,
just we're just spiraling into the pit of hell as far as morality goes. I mean, this is beyond. I mean, uh, a society that can do this to children is a society completely doomed.
right, and that's how I feel too. I mean, how much lower can we get? I mean, look at what we do with our children, vaccinating them, and even with all the truth that's out there, people are still doing it to their kids, and they're supposed to love their kids. To me,
Oh, I know.
you
Oh
know,
my God, my somebody really really close to me, just very young, their kids just got pregnant, and I guess his girly friend is like, oh, I definitely want vaccines, oh, I definitely want to go to the hospital and have this child, and oh, and you're just a freaking retarded moron. What the hell is your problem? I mean, you don't want to. Everybody thinks that these damn doctors know best, and they don't.
they prove over and over, and even way doctors are taught in medical schools now. It's like what the pharmaceutical companies fund them,
Mm,
and then they're teaching these people that are going to be doctors, even some of them that are in there for the right reason. The only thing they're teaching is not to cure, it's to maintain. Cancer is just to be expected, you
right?
know
Yeah. It's to be expected from the entire population.
right, and it's barbaric to me to think that they're still doing the same treatment as they have been since when? Last 50 years on
Yeah.
cancer?
Yeah.
They have not changed it. So chemo, radiation, and with
Right. So
all
what are
that
they
money,
doing with those billions and billions of dollars in like
yeah,
um,
research.
run for the cure, and oh, the little pink ribbons everywhere for breast cancer, and people like, they raise millions and
Oh, are you
millions of
kidding?
dollars for
Billions.
their little events that they have for raise for
They're
the
running.
cure.
They have marathons running for cancer. They have,
I mean, everything. I mean, just last year, I remember saying it on air. They just the gym that I go to had this event called Barbells for Boobs, and
uh-huh.
you know what I mean. They raised thousands of dollars for with that event, and I'm just sitting here going, "Do you people realize where all your money is going?
Right.
Hello,
None of
it's
it's
not
going.
going to research."
No, or they would have come up with something to, and then two, most of these people that are out there marching and stuff, they've had someone, cured of cancer, but they don't follow up. Within 5 years, most of them die because of the chemo and the radiation that destroyed the
Absolutely.
inside of their body.
It just killed my buddy, and he only
Mhm.
got one chemo treatment. He's like, it nearly killed me, and it did kill him.
It
and it
goes, you go
killed him.
down fast.
Yeah, and oh my God, and that's what killed him. It's
Hmm.
the freaking chemo, and he only had one freaking treatment. And then I watched another buddy of mine die right in front of my freaking face because of one freaking chemotherapy treatment. It ripped out the insides of his guts, and
Right.
he, he everything leaked into his system, and I mean, God, it
Yeah,
drives me
so I
crazy.
mean, I don't know why that. I have a friend that love her dearly. She's been a nurse for 25 years, and she got breast cancer a few years back, and ever since then, one of her daughters, she's just totally into raising money for cancer now. For She shaved her head when they were shaving their heads, and she gets involved in all these marches, and I tell her, don't you realize you're not helping cancer patients by doing all this? Because where's the money going? It's not going to research. And she really gets offended when
Well,
I tell
yeah,
her.
they're trained to get offended because they can't wrap their minds around that all of that money that was uh that was
Raised.
raised for like what the Haitian earthquake, none of that money got to Haiti. You know
It
what I
goes to
mean?
CEOs.
Yeah, exactly. None of that money is getting to the breast cancer. Oh, I mean, okay, so we're raising money for breast cancer awareness. Really?
Okay, like nobody notices yet. Is there anyone in this country that isn't aware of cancer?
Exactly. I mean, everybody has been touched by this thing.
Right.
In some way, shape, or form. It's coming down in the form of like clouds on our heads and
Go
radiation
to any hospital
Shiva.
and go in the cancer ward and look at all the little kids that
I
have
don't.
cancer.
I had to work with children that had it for 6 years when I worked at the children's hospital. I couldn't deal with it anymore.
Right. So I don't get this cancer awareness. I really don't think there's anyone on the planet that doesn't realize that what a disease it is. But why aren't they going, you know, that's what gets me most of all is they're still using the same treatment they have been for the last 50 years and all this money to research, and they
Yeah.
haven't come up with one thing.
One new thing. Yeah, it's all the same crap. And they've got the money. They've got the money to come up with like 100 cures by now. You know what I mean? But they always, hey, old tricks are the best tricks, and assholes keep falling for it all the time. So, oh, look, they're just siphoning your money out of your pocket. That's what they're doing. And
Yeah,
you
you're
think
not
you're
helping
doing,
any cancer patients.
yeah, you think you're doing all this good. Look, I feel so good. Look, I jogged 5 miles for cancer. You know what
Hmm.
I mean?
And then you get cancer, and then what do you get? Chemo.
Exactly. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's insanity gone completely sideways.
And then if someone does come up with, a cure or, something that cures most patients, well, then you got to leave the country. I mean, look
Yeah.
at
And it
Ricky.
gets shelved into the bowels of the Pentagon if you come up with an actual real something that works. And it's always
Yeah.
petroleum based treatments. It's never like plant based cures like they know they've got.
Uh-huh.
They've got all this. I mean, just yesterday, they were like, "Oh, look, a Canadian drug company has vaccinations for Ebola now. Look, we've got 800 units of it. Oh, look, and I know. And I was saying 2 weeks ago that they've got giant warehouses full of these Ebola vaccinations just
For
waiting to
the
roll
money
out.
to be right. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. And
It's
I've heard that it's not financially feasible to release it yet because the price isn't up there high enough.
right, and there hasn't been enough deaths. So
Hmm.
I'm beginning to think that this whole Ebola thing is a hoax, like Sandy hoax was.
Hmm. I
I'm
do too.
really because yesterday when when they said that, oh, look, all of the people, the 50 people they were monitoring that came in contact with the guy who died in Dallas, oh, they've all been the quarantine's lifted, everybody
They're
can
all
go
cute.
back to
Yeah,
work, everybody can.
everything's fine.
And his so-called girlfriend or wife or whatever was rolling around in the sheets with him. I mean,
Hmm.
she's not sick. So what the hell does that
Yeah.
tell you? That tells me that this shit is faked.
Hmm.
So I'm really kind of going more and more and more leaning toward that.
I am
Uh,
too. And the fact that we're sending our military over there without hazmat suits and
yeah,
stuff, you
yeah,
know,
that happening. Why
yeah.
would we send our guys over there without proper protection?
And what guys wouldn't refuse to go? I mean, who? That's like a death sentence if it was truly
Right.
what's going on. How many? They're saying now it's up to how many thousands of people? I forgot. It's gone over the 4,000. But then you think about here in this country, over 5,000 people die every year of the flu.
Yeah, or drug
So
overdoses.
yeah, but I mean of the flu, which is contagious, and yet over there, I'm amazed that only that many have died because of the conditions that the people live in there.
Right.
You know, so and then I heard that brought up the other just yesterday, saying, "Well, yeah, I better go get my flu shot."
Right. Exactly. Um,
Yeah,
soon they're gonna come up with a cancer vaccine. You know what I mean? It's
yeah, go
just
get your
that
shot.
preposterous, right? It's just that preposterous. And then hey, maybe there's some cancer viruses in this thing, and it's gonna give you cancer. And
Well, look, what do they
maybe
have? What do we now have vaccines for? Let's see: chickenpox, measles,
oh
shingles, whooping
God,
cough. Let's see,
human
polio.
papillomavirus and the HPV and cervical cancer and holy
I
crap.
mean, our kids get how many vaccines by the time they're third round? I think something like 60 vaccines or
Yeah,
something like that.
I think it is that insane.
Yeah. How many
Never
diseases
mind
do
the
we have?
autism. Never mind the autism. I mean, my God. It,
Yeah, it's crazy. And we all accept this. Like new mothers, they believe that they're doing the right thing. But I don't understand how, like, when I can remember my daughter was just a baby. I was open to any information that would make her stronger, healthier, and if someone was to tell me that babies are being hurt by some of these vaccines, I would have thought it's my duty to not listen to the doctor, but to go investigate this.
right, absolutely.
But they don't even want to hear it. Oh, I don't want to hear it.
Right, right. And then they do, and then they just, oh my God. I mean, you might as well just take like Drano and shoot it in your baby's arm.
Mhm.
Really. I mean, that's
Right.
pretty much the equivalent of it.
Yeah. And now they're saying, there's that fear that so many people aren't getting vaccines, are not giving their kids the inoculations, including doctors have never pretty much given their kids those. But and now they're convincing people to do it because you're endangering other kids.
Right.
Like I said the other day, that
Yeah.
don't make no sense at all.
Right, exactly. And so anybody who's not getting their kids vaccinated is the problem. You're the
It's
problem and this is the reason why it's spreading.
right, and you're endangering my child who did get inoculated.
Right, when the real reason why it's spreading is because they have been vaccinated and there's the all the crap is in the vaccines itself. So that is the reason why everybody's getting sick. That is the reason why everybody's getting cancer. That is the reason why everybody's getting polio. That's the reason why everybody, you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just it goes on and on and on and on. Nobody investigates the fact that India is suing Bill and Melinda Gates for this spread of polio through their vaccinations.
Yeah,
Nobody
I seen that.
talks about that, do they? And oh no, that just gets swept under the frickin' rug. I mean, come on. And it's just a simple matter of paying attention. I mean, do you care about your offspring, or do you just, want to just give it up to the state and let the state handle it?
Well,
Well,
because people believe their doctors. There's so many doctors out there that don't even investigate for themselves. The ones that do don't, encourage vaccines because they took the time to not listen to the paid for doctors that say, oh, this is great by the pharmaceutical companies.
Right.
But, they go in and do some real research and like ask your doctor, why is mercury in the vaccines? It's still there.
It's called the Mirasol. They don't call it mercury. They call it the Mirasol.
Yeah, but now that people know about the Marisol, they are, you ask your doctor, is the Marisol still in the vaccines? And he'll say no. You get the slip that comes in to the pharmacy. Yes. It is still there. Both.
Of course it is. Mm-hmm. You can even look all that online. You know what I mean?
Right, and all they do is tell the doctors, oh no, this one here is mercury free, and so the doctor passes it on, gives the kids a shot. I bet you they never even look at this insert that comes.
They don't look at it, and nobody insists that they do look at it.
So I know. Ask your doctor, what's in this shot?
I don't even know. It just seems like even going to a doctor anymore for anything other than a broken leg or a broken bone or something like that is just signing your own death warrant.
Yeah, and like I said, my mom went into the hospital last week because she felt dizzy and they thought she was going to faint. They said she was dehydrated.
Yeah.
My mom drinks like 10 to 12 bottles of water every day.
Really?
Yeah. But they said she was dehydrated. And now and now she feels fine. But I said, Mom, you drink more water than anyone I know. She's just constantly drinking water. And I don't get how they could come up with that.
That's bizarre, huh?
It's real bizarre.
They don't know what the hell they're doing. And they've been so conditioned with this healthcare system that is completely in ruins that it's just a giant sausage factory for doctors and nurses anymore. They're so weary of everybody's complaints about aches and pains and, oh, this hurts and my back hurts and, oh, I'm dizzy and all this and that. It just falls on deaf ears anymore. And people who work in these facilities, these hospitals and stuff, they get numb to hearing it day after day and seeing all this crap day after day after day. It's a giant factory. It's a giant sausage factory. That's all it is.
Yeah. I would avoid hospitals at all costs, especially if you're older. I mean, I've heard of people, they go in for a minor surgery, then they send them to these rehab places, then they're dead.
Right, exactly. And nobody everybody accepts this way of doing things. It's insane to me. It's absolutely like it's death panels. I mean, it really is. It's like Logan's Run, you die when you're 30. Old.
Yeah, and you know what has always bothered me, and it still does to this day, and that is like my aunt, she fell down and broke her hip. And next thing I know, from a broken hip, she's dead.
Right.
How is that? And every older people, they're just terrified of falling down and breaking a hip because that means you're going to die.
Right, because of the care that you're not going to get into the hospital. All they do is just maybe give you some morphine and send you to a rehab center where they, which is basically...
Well, they usually do surgery on them, don't they?
Well, it depends. With some older folks, surgery would be a lot more risky and devastating than not doing it, than not fixing it. A lot of people, their bones are so brittle that risking an operation like that would surely kill them anyway. So they just, make sure they're comfortable and not feed them, and then they die. That's pretty much what happens.
Now, Dr. Rima, the general, broke his hip skiing, and they were in another country, and she was, said there, and
Dr. Rima Labo, you mean?
Yeah.
Married to General Stubblebine, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And the general broke his hip, and she demanded, and since she is a doctor, that he get so many units of vitamin C immediately after he comes out of surgery, they fought her at first, but then they said, well, she's a doctor and you don't want her. They had to send out of the country to get enough vitamin C. Gave it to him, and within 2 days he was up walking, no pain or anything. They were all just floored. Now, why can't they do the same treatment here? Because they want them to die.
Right. It's called death panels. It's called
Mm-hmm.
Obamacare. And, you know, these death panels have been in place way before they even thought of Obamacare.
Oh yeah.
This is the way we treat our elders in this country is absolutely freaking shameful.
Mm-hmm.
Shameful. And it just, I'm embarrassed to even be, and so, I don't even think Rome did this to their citizens. Rome didn't, like, wrap up their children in these weird vests and you know
Yeah.
what I mean, and torture the shit out of them. Rome didn't do all this crazy crap with their elders. I mean, you know what I mean? We've just gone so far beyond the pale of morality, like I keep saying, that it's you know, shit's gonna come down on us and come down pretty freaking hard. And it's gonna be by the hand of these same assholes that are allowing aid to ISIS trickle in, not trickle in, but pour in by the mass 1,000 pound lots of food and crisis
I know
tents.
they were asking questions of the
Bullshit.
guy who is the head of Homeland Security, saying, "Okay, has there been any ISIS terrorists come across the southern border?" He goes, "No," and they go, "Wait a minute, they just said they caught four of them, and there, and they said how many people may have come across." He goes, "No, I don't think so. Not that none that come to mind." And this had just happened a couple of days before. They asked, "Well, how many do you think could have crossed without our knowledge?" I don't know. The man is an idiot, and he's in charge of Homeland Security, and he
Right?
doesn't
Yeah.
know this.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, they don't. They don't want to cause panic, so they can't really give those numbers out.
Yeah, and now we have uh, uh, immigrants all throughout the country because they all got bussed out and nobody knows to where.
Right.
You know, they give them a little slip of paper and go, "Okay, in a year or so, you report to immigration and have a nice trip. Bye."
Oh my God.
Every state in the union
It's true.
with diseases. You know, I mean, how can this happen? I mean, how? And then when civilians go down to help to try and protect the borders, we get down on them.
Right.
Now, make sense of that.
There is no sense. None of it makes any sense.
No,
And the leaves are still gonna keep falling from the trees, and things are still gonna keep turning and turning, and the sun's at least gonna still come up. At least we got that. At least we've got the sun coming up every day, and we know that that
well, so
is,
far.
yeah, so far. But we know that that's like at least consistent.
And it used to be it rained in winter too, you know. But we were told, well, we were told that it's going to rain tonight again. But you know what? Yesterday was in the 90s, and I'm telling you, I went outside, and in the morning I went out around 8 o'clock, and I took a picture of the sky. It was blue, and it was a beautiful morning. By noon, there was not one drop of blue anywhere, not one
Mm-mm.
speck, not
Nope.
one. And plains just, and big billowing trails, you know.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's supposed to rain tonight. Well, guess what? Now we have chemtrails to absorb the moisture and take it somewhere else.
That's right. And we've been getting sprayed here really big time as well. Just huge.
Uh
Just
oh.
huge. However, what?
Uh oh.
What?
Oh, can you hear that?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, there. An ad came up.
Oh, I hate that. Thank
Yeah.
God we can't hear each other's ads.
It seems like it would have gone out though. I'm talking, but yeah, I always think, oh no, everybody can hear that, and it was
Oh,
for
I
nothing.
know. And it just ruins your train of thought and everything.
Yep.
Um,
How'd you guess? I lost it.
you know, though, for the first time in like many, many years, I still see the leaves like dying on the actual tree before they fall.
Oh, the
But
different colors.
yeah, but this has been one of the most vibrant color years that I remember in decades.
That's because you're getting all our rain.
Well, maybe so. I don't know. This has been one of the prettier falls that I have experienced in a terribly, terribly long time. And it was like last winter was like a normal winter here,
Hmm.
and the summer was like a normal summer, and the fall is like a normal fall. So this is
And your
just,
gardens are growing well.
oh my God, there's so many apples here. I guess this is the third largest bumper crop of apples that Michigan has had ever.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just everything is going just crazy gangbusters here. It's actually quite. My mom is still getting tomatoes out of her tomato garden,
Now
and
that's shocking.
and there's been like a couple of freezes too. Still, tomatoes are coming up.
That's crazy.
Isn't that wild?
In California, we can't grow tomatoes or hardly anything else. Squash. I got 4 squash out of a whole garden.
Wow.
You
I've
know,
got my whole counter here is filled with squash right now. All organic, all fantastically wonderful. It's
wow.
I just ate some last night.
See,
It's
and that's crazy. Here, we're not. I got a lot of apples. I made an apple pie, my first one. Oh my God. I don't know how to make crust.
oh,
The filling was good, but the crust, it came out so thick, and I followed all their directions. I think they're nuts. I just can't do it. But my first apple pie was a total disaster.
oh well,
So,
you gotta have that right touch. You gotta have that
I
baker's
just.
touch, which is something I don't have, so I don't even bother baking. I'm better like at making meat, smoking, loving
Well,
meat,
I have so many
eating meat.
apples that I'm trying to find other things to do. I mean, I have so much applesauce and cut sliced apples and apple butter and
Yeah.
but there's still more apples and I can't stand food to go to waste.
Right. Well, can it? Can them.
Yeah, but the jars are so expensive.
Yeah.
It's getting, and now they think it's the end of the canning season, so it's harder to find them.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know what other way to make apple stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, my apple butter. Oh, to die for.
Wow. Well, there you go. There's some way to do it.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
my goodness.
but anyway, yeah, my broccoli's growing though really well.
Wow.
So, and
Still broccoli growing here. Still.
well, broccoli's a winter
Oh, it's more of
vegetable.
a cold. Yeah, lettuce. I guess she said the at the farmers market the organic.
Yeah, and cabbage and kale
Yeah, I
and
guess that they like the colder weather. So
and
just got
cauliflower.
a giant head of organic butter lettuce the other day. So
Hmm. Yeah, I got my seeds and they're germinating now. And but I do have one broccoli that it's about 3 feet tall now, so it's going real good.
can't believe there's only 2 more weeks left in the month. I mean,
I know.
it's going so fast. I can't even
But
deal with it.
I don't know. It's the older you get, the faster time goes. But the younger you are, like under 21, it can't go fast enough. All
Yeah,
in
yeah.
state of mind.
Everybody, all these young people are such in a hurry to grow up,
We
and
were
all
too,
these older people are like going,
trying to be young.
"Damn, if I only knew then what I know now."
Now.
You know what I mean? I wish I could do it over again. It's just
Yeah.
impossible to do that. So,
Yeah, time's all a state of mind though, because if
yeah.
you're having a real good time goes by real fast. If you like are a teenager and you did something wrong and you're waiting for your dad to get home,
Right.
uh, and
Every
it,
second is like an eternity.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's coming. Just get it over with. But yeah, I've noticed that a lot. Like if I'm bored, time goes really slow. Like, is it only this time? But if I'm busy, it's like, how in the hell did it get to be this late?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So,
Oh my god. I don't
so
know.
what next?
My brain is fried. I'm not going to be here the next 2 days, so.
Okay. Let's see. Let me see what I can find in here to go over news. Oh, we're having another meeting for geoengineering. The what was it? The 17th of next month, I believe, and it's gonna be. We have a real good panel, and I was surprised to see one of the board of supervisors is on the panel because I mean, I couldn't believe the way they investigated it. And I went to the meeting and nobody showed up. Not, I got there a little late, and the lady that was there said only one person got up and talked. So I don't know. Is it we all made this big effort and went in and all of us got up and talked and everything? Then what? You just forget about it and go home and say, "Well, I did my part."
You mean Dame wasn't there either?
Well, Dane wasn't going to be there. He was somewhere else. But this one, they're supposed to give us answers as to what they've done at this next meeting, and I'm going to be there because I can't find anything they've done other than send that one little paragraph. And I still haven't got an answer from Larry Lee's that's supposed to be in charge of this. I still haven't got an answer from him. So, I don't know. People get together for these big marches, but they got to realize we got to continue on. We got to make them stop spraying us. That's
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I don't even know. I think I might have cut us off the network. And I can't get the hell out of here to find out. I think I tried to. Shally called me, and I think. Hang on a minute.
Okay. Well, if they couldn't hear us, they probably would have said something already.
Hang on. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, we're still there.
No, we're not.
Oh.
No, we're not. We're not there. Hang on.
JJ said we were.
Okay.
Oh no. Okay, they've gone deaf.
Yep. Okay, so now what do I do?
Just call back to the radio station.
I'm trying. Oh my god. Okay, alright.
Oh, they hear us. Or is that just a delay?
I don't know. The delay is like I tried to get Shally to come on, but I think I screwed it up. It says that we're still connected.
But we're still connected. I see it still on. Yeah, so excuse the craziness here for a minute, folks. We were confused, but now.
Yeah, sorry guys. I don't know. I don't know if we're on.
Shirley's coming on.
Yeah.
Hey, there you are.
Hey, I don't even know if we're on because
we are.
When I.
Well, do you?
Huh?
Do you see anything on the screen that says on hold?
No, we're on.
If you see why radio is on hold, then they're not hearing us. If that's what you see on the screen.
Okay.
You're saying I can hear every word you're saying.
Okay.
In chat. So we're on.
Hey.
Hey, what are you up to?
So, just tuning in this morning, seeing how everything's going in America.
Yeah. What do you
think? Taking the temperature. It's
taking his temperature.
Dr. Shawley taking the temperature of the world. It's a mess.
Right?
It's a mess. You're right. Yes. It is a big mess.
I'm screening the world for Ebola. Breathe in my face. So I will be able to tell whether you have Ebola or not.
Breathe in my face.
Is there a test that they can take that will tell if somebody, I mean, in this day and age, is there an actual test that after all the years of all the Ebola outbreaks in Africa, have they been able to devise a test that will tell you, instead of having to wait for 21 fucking days to find out whether you're symptomatic?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
where the fuck are we in America, in the American Medical Association,
Well,
and
look,
the world for that matter?
we were just talking about cancer. We're still using the same treatment for the last 50 years for cancer. And with all
Yeah.
the money they raise, we haven't progressed at all.
No, we haven't. No, I spoke about that yesterday with Vince. It's a absolutely, stop the growth of America. Economically. Don't
Physically.
cure any diseases. I mean, people haven't caught on to the fact that we haven't cured any fucking diseases.
Yeah, in the
Right, we
last
haven't.
50-some years, exactly. It hasn't gone forward, it's gone backward in the archaic Stone Age.
Right, but everybody who doesn't want Ebola care says, or Obamacare, they say, oh, we want our health care back. We want our health care back. You know, the one that was killing us and didn't cure any diseases? Well, we want that back. We want that back.
That's funny. That's pretty much the way it is.
And allowing pharmaceutical companies to fund medical school is just really asinine.
Yeah, the research. Yeah, they fund their own research. They've taken over all of our universities. Marijuana is a class 1 narcotic, so they can't do any research on it.
Right.
And everybody just continues to fucking drop dead, heart disease, and all these other diseases that, no cure for diabetes, just take this pill. I mean, are people getting it? I mean, is Chris Rock the only one who understands that the money's in the medicine and that they're not going to find any diseases?
You know something?
And how many people do you know that are not on 10 or 15 medications?
Right.
I've run into at least 2 people in the last 4 weeks. A woman who had a little wicker basket with like 30 prescription drugs in them.
That's crazy.
She had fluid. She had edema in her. She was 79. I don't even know how she's still alive. Right.
Right.
Sweet lady. Right.
And think they have to take these pills to stay alive when, or like after a heart attack and you go in for 5 bypass, surgery. So to me, you would be like, oh, brand new. I can, you'd be so healthy, but they send you home with 15 pills to say you have to take these every day for the rest of your life now.
Well,
that's it.
In Ann Arbor houses the University of Michigan, otherwise known as the Jew of M, and they are getting so much funding from the pharmaceutical companies that they're absolutely running around the entire downtown area of Ann Arbor, buying up prime real estate and putting in school buildings and erecting these giant, like,
synagogues.
6, 7, 8, synagogues to the pharmaceutical industry. It's true.
Well, how many pharmacies do you know in your area?
Oh, I mean, they've all, you got, just look at them. They sell, everybody sells drugs now. It's a BJ's wholesale.
Your grocery
Costco's
store.
got their Wegmans. If you know what Wegmans is, they've got their own pharmacy, and you walk by and they're wearing their little white suits and they're mixing up the deadly medications for Mary and her son down the road. And they think that they're doing something. They think that that's the thing. We've been so our world is so designed that we actually think we don't know anything better, and then we've been told, well, this is the best country in the world, and we do things here like nowhere else. And cure fucking diabetes,
Right.
and then come and tell me we're the greatest country.
Yeah.
And then it's just so ridiculous. They're all over the place. They're all over the place.
The terrorists of the world, if you ask me. I can't name one other country that has destroyed more countries than we have.
I mean, if you could just sit there and look that we, nobody can believe that Wall Street, the United States government, and our military are in cahoots together, if that's still a fucking word, that to create a terrorist group or multiple terrorist groups and and make it as real as just looking at the TV and say, oh my God, look at ISIS. I hate them. Oh yeah, Ben Affleck says that not all Muslims are terrorists, so he's an asshole, and I hope that someone in his family gets beheaded. See, that's true. I mean, we are so far fucking gone. We are so fucking past the point of no return.
Yeah.
I am fucking speechless. And I talk for hours at times.
Right. I hear
You know,
you.
3
I don't even
hours
know what the
just
hell to say
babbling.
about any of it
I mean, we were
anymore.
talking about that earlier. I was shocked. I didn't know we were still sending drones over and bombing Pakistan. Why are we still even there? We went there on a lie.
That's 2 years ago news. It's still going on. They're still killing little kids and blowing their arms off. But you know what? There's a new group out there, and they're the new rock stars of terror.
Right, so we don't pay attention to anything else we're doing, just ISIS.
That's right.
It's disgusting.
It makes me freaking puke.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You know, most people in America are not even living in reality. They've been robbed of fucking reality. They've been robbed of almost everything that they are or fucking could have been.
Right. It's true.
They've been robbed, but they think I'm a taxpayer. I've got a family. I this, I that.
Right.
While you let Common Core destroy your children's future forever, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm a teacher, and I know it's messed up, but I can't say anything because
I can't stop it.
I might lose my job.
I might lose my job and junk, so I'm not gonna say nothing.
My job and junk.
If I say
I'm just
something,
gonna go along with it.
If I say something, people call me names.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I might lose my job, and I might lose my job.
Why do you hate children, Dodie? Why do you hate children?
Yep, that's exactly what, you know. It's for their own good, and we're turning our schools into prisons. Well, we're trying to protect them. No,
they've always been prisons.
The cops are terrorizing our children.
That's right, man.
Inside the schools.
They're little terrorists. He's free, but he's the danger to the world.
Did you see that picture or that what we were talking about earlier? What they're doing to kids in juvenile hall?
I just tuned in about 10, 15 minutes ago as I'm getting ready to go out.
Do you have that link still, lady?
What is it?
That link where the picture of what we're doing to our children that are in.
Yeah.
And this that's pure torture, and they've been doing this. They do this to children when talking to them won't do it.
I just dropped it in our little chat.
Yeah, look at that pictures there and give me your opinion of what you think of that.
Well, I'm actually talking to you on a cell phone right now, but I will. I know that it's happening. All these things. I mean, I'm sitting there and I'm watching The Walking Dead last night, and
that's real nice. That's all.
And you know what? I got to tell you, I mean, it's probably one of my shows that I mean, I don't even watch that many shows. For some reason, I just kind of got hooked on The Walking Dead, so I've been watching that.
I got rid of my TV.
They have introduced cannibalism. They've introduced cannibalism.
Oh, real nice. Oh, that's great.
They cut this guy's leg off. You had no idea at the end. They hit him over the head, and then he's sitting there talking to him. He's like, "Hey, Bob, how's it going?"
Oh my God.
He's like, "Oh man, you clunked me pretty hard on the head there, bro. What's up? What's up?" And then he said, I disagreed with my. He said, I disagreed with my friends here, right? He said, I think you taste a lot better than they said you were. And then he's sitting there and he looks down and he realizes they took his leg off, and he's like, you guys are eating me. They turned Bob into a barbecue, is what they did.
What kind of show is this? I mean, I don't have to.
Well, you know, it's like the zombie apocalypse. There's a virus that turns people. It either kills you right away, or and everybody carries it. So even if you don't get bitten or attacked by them, you will, when you die, you will turn.
Is this like a sitcom all I'm saying.
Oh, it's been on for about it's been on for about 4 or 5 years now. It's just preparing us for the eventuality that we're all going to be like eating each other.
Oh my God!
And
I got rid of my TV when it went digital because I thought to myself, digital's two-way communication. Nope, don't want it.
Well, the whole idea behind the cannibalism, and especially the cannibalism on the TV, the way they're trying to quote unquote prepare us for the future.
Like
that whole concept is an entire satanic. It's all based in Satanism because that's what they do. They've been doing this for time immortal, and
look at Dexter. Look at Dexter. Look at the absolute.
What's Dexter?
Dexter was this.
A cartoon character, wasn't he?
No. It's a show about a serial killer.
Oh, that's real nice.
Who kills other serial killers. So what it does is it takes killing and murdering in a serial style manner and makes it okay because he's killing serial killers.
Oh God,
that's real wonderful.
He's killing a serial killer who kills serial killers. So in your mind it says, "Hey, it's cool to kill as long as you think that they're bad."
Right, right.
Or that's like bombing for peace.
Yeah, bombing for peace. Yeah, it's like
these are peace bombs. Every now and then you'll see like a Valentine card fly into the air. That will represent the love that we are putting into these bombs.
Right. Or sending humanitarian aid.
Yeah, we're bombing you for humanitarian reasons. So it's okay.
Yeah, we're totally gone. This is
God, man.
These are the final remnants of
vestiges of humanity itself.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we, the three of us, the people listening.
I have never ever seen a one Simpson cartoon, not one. Because when it came out and I heard about it, I boycotted it right then. Why are we teaching our kids to disrespect us? That's what that show was. And it was on prime time. I think that's something
that has happened over time, too. Children, they watch this corrosive television. They go to corrosive public schools, and even like Catholic schools, and obviously private schools that take them away from that right there. If you go to a private school, not that that's a bad thing, for the people going there, but it kind of like, oh, I go to a private school.
Yeah, they think it's better than a public school, and it's not.
So you get a rift in society. You get your divide.
And you teach our children not to listen to us, and if you do discipline them, they threaten you with CPS. I'll call CPS on you and get you put in jail. Because a DARE program. We teach our kids not to respect their parents.
We explained that to my stepson a long time ago, like when we were having disciplinary issues. We would explain to him that the thing is that if you could put us in jail, dude, right now. You know what I mean? I mean, if you just went to your counselor and say that you were being abused, they're going to come here, take you away to something worse.
Right, and put your parents in prison.
And put us in prison. I mean, this is how...
The DARE program doesn't say that to the kids. They go, you will be helping your parents if you see them smoking a joint and you turn them in. You will be doing good for your parents.
Right.
And then all of a sudden the kid finds himself in foster care where he's being abused and his parents are in prison, all from that program.
Sure. Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And we still have it in California, believe it or not. Almost all states have banned it.
It's all the evolution of the tattletale society. Turn your parents in, turn your grandma in. I mean,
the sign of the apocalypse for California was when Arnold was the governor.
Oh my God! Don't
Yeah,
mind me.
I am the governor.
I
Yeah,
know.
vaccine for everyone. Yeah, the predators. Yeah.
It's funny.
Ronald Reagan. You know what gets me is with all these people that praise Ronald Reagan. Think of the Contras people. The guy was an actor.
He
That's why he was
was
so good.
exactly, Zorie, exactly. And you're seeing these like weird commercials on TV going, "Well, this is something that Ronald Reagan signed in." Those
And what?
reverse mortgages thing, like when I'm at work
Right. And you know what?
on, I'm just
Reagan.
like, "Are you kidding me?"
Reagan raised taxes higher than any other president, and yet these people worship this man. And all it was is he was a good actor, people. You know, I mean, we had the Contras, we had drugs coming in like crazy, but they got tunnel vision when it comes to like Obamacare or Obama. They have tunnel vision. All they see is this about them, and we vote according to our emotions. We don't
Yeah.
investigate these people.
Well, not only have they arrested the development of almost every critical aspect of our lives,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
but they've also arrested our own development. They've created a society of childlike, look what I've got,
Right.
right?
Hey.
Look what I got. Just remember that kid that you ran into on the, somebody, whether, for you ladies, you probably ran into some crazy a little girl who just was all like about herself, and then they found
A
something.
beauty pageant for little kids.
Right. Yeah, they found something about you that they were, whatever it was, and they were just like this asshole kid, or or for us guys, there was this total asshole kid on the playground, and he was just like, and he
The
just
bully.
tried to make everybody's life miserable. Okay, that's what they've created. They've
Yep.
created this narcissist. You're either like totally narcissistic and better than everyone else, or you've got a lack of self-esteem. You're, you're not going to succeed in life. And of course, the food and the drugs and all these other things they don't help at all either.
You know what?
So,
Right.
We took away the class clown. I mean, everybody loved the class clown, even though even teachers liked the class clown because he always made it funny. You can't do that anymore, or you're taken away.
Yeah.
yeah,
You
you're
have to
disturbing the sanctity of our classroom here.
And teachers
Yeah.
are now doctors because if a teacher says you need to be put on a psychotropic drug, then you do. Because what? Maybe you were the class clown. Now you sit there like a zombie and everybody's happy.
Right. It's true.
Just sit there, and then and then when you get to the point where you don't, as a child, you don't speak out and you're shy, then
You need a
there's
drug.
something else wrong with you.
Yep. I mean, they
Something
have,
else.
you know,
You're autistic or
there
something.
you go. Yeah. And they're killing creativity in across the board. Don't think for yourself. Don't think outside the box. Think just like everybody else.
Yeah, Billy
just-
took that cookie and he chewed it into like the form of a gun. Don't ever think about doing anything like that. Don't even be creative at all, because that just leads to cookies that look like guns. Okay, so just stop.
Yeah, did you hear? I thought we were over that. And then this 5-year-old last week, she drew a painting and it kind of resembled a gun. And they suspended her, and I forget what else. I mean, it was appalling. The school jumped right in there, though. And,
That's right.
oh, yeah, they made her sign a contract saying, I will not commit suicide and I will not kill anyone else. A 5-year-old. And she's going, Daddy, what is suicide? Signing a contract. How crazy is that?
It's what this country is committing, is what the father should have said. It's what this country's doing. The country's killing itself.
I mean, my God.
I can't find my green tie.
I can't find my green tie.
Now I gotta wear the red one, and they're gonna be like, "Your tie angers me.
Oh, man.
Don't ever wear a red tie, because as a child I took a cookie and chewed it into the form of a tie and put it on my on my neck, and my teacher said, "What are you, fucking crazy, kid?"
Okay, I got a little story here. There's up here at the local little Manchester little tiny library that we've got here. They had arts and crafts for kids, and my little 3-year-old friend, my best friend's daughter, they went up to the arts and crafts hour or whatever, and they were making little pictures, and she made a walrus. So it was like this, this big brown outline of the the walrus's head, and she used 2 plastic butter knives for the tusks. Okay? And if they were to do that in a school, she would have been like expelled. You know what I mean? And it's hanging right up on her family's, like refrigerator right now or whatever. And I took pictures of that sucker because it's like, you're not gonna ever see this kind of art again.
It's like zero tolerance.
That's just racist to hippos. Is what I'm hearing out of that story.
To walruses.
It's totally racist to hippos.
It's walruses.
Yeah,
it's
I know,
to walruses.
right.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people confuse walruses and hippos, and
that
was my education. They told me walruses were hippos. They were like, "That's not a walrus, it's a hippo, Sally."
Well,
never gonna forget.
It's like, look at they're brainwashing our children into believing. I mean, we have geoengineering in cartoons. And in 7th grade, we have it in the books that this is a good thing. Them chemically poisoning all of us. And they say, don't listen, like Gord said, don't listen to your parents. They're old school. They don't understand the new way. And it goes back to don't listen to your parents. Disregard them. They don't know what they're talking about.
Right. Exactly.
The state owns your children, and come to terms with it or do something about it.
They learn.
But Al's a nice man. He was a victim of George W. Bush. He was a victim.
Oh, yeah.
They stole the election. They stole the election from him.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I think. Did you just fall down or something, dude?
I was putting on my tie, and my Bluetooth earpiece fell into a bag.
That was tie rubbing we heard then, huh?
You ever notice that when you drop something on the floor, it just like it's like 8 feet away? You're like, where the hell did that go? And then you find it like 8 feet away. Like a guitar pick. I'm like playing guitar, and then next thing you know, I drop the pick, and it's like, where the hell did that pick go? And then it's outside in the driveway, and it's like, what? Anyway, so so that's it. Al Gore is the perpetual victim who's trying to save the earth, and the Republicans and all these guys are trying to stop him from saving the planet. Al Gore should have a cartoon about him, like he's a superhero. I'll save you.
Yeah, and didn't he invent the internet too?
What?
Yeah.
He invented the internet.
He said he did.
Oh,
yeah.
He said he did.
Yeah, he pulled.
He invented. He also invented massage rape as well.
Oh yeah.
If you remember that.
It's out of his globally warm.
I really like the way that you're massaging my latissimus muscle there. Yeah. Let's have sex. I'm Al Gore. You know you want to have sex with me. I'm a victim.
I'm a victim.
The election was stolen from me. You know what? I would have done so much for masseuse in this world. I would have made it like people would have come in and been like, I got cancer. You're getting a massage right now. I'm Al Gore. I love everybody. I love everybody.
Oh my God, it's good to laugh, Charlie. Thanks for making me laugh, dude. I
God.
Days.
Yeah.
I was Saturday a little bit, but it's good.
Oh man, my mouth.
Good people, you care. People will remember how much at least people in this little clique here, this dangerous little clique in society will remember the good people. We'll even remember Dan B. Cooper, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Remember Dan. No, it's, we joke. We crack on each other.
You're a bad person, and You know when you're winning a fight when someone starts calling you names. That's my philosophy. If I can make somebody start calling me names, I know I'm right.
That's racist.
Yeah. I mean, or answer me this if you can. When did telling the truth become a bad thing and believing in the Constitution make you a crazy person?
Right. Exactly.
Because all that's been bastardized. People don't even know what truth is. They don't even know what reality is. The realities have been hijacked.
That's right.
Yeah, truther is a bad person, and
right.
I always thought truth was honorable.
No. Truth is terror. Don't you get it? Truth equals terror.
That's right. And no, truth is only good if I believe the same thing that you do.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's right on the money, dude.
But I mean, what a funny thing to call someone.
And you know what? If I believe what you say, and what you say is just, to most people, the most outrageous thing that could ever be said, then, as I said yesterday on my program, you have to have people that are willing to put everything on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
People are willing to say, the war on terror, the war on cancer, the war on drugs is an absolute lie. They're killing people, and some people get it. I'm at Whole Foods the other night, Friday night. I'm picking up some things. I'm over in the gun-loving state of New Jersey, and I say something like, "This woman, she's cashing me out," and then I never, miss an opportunity to just say something or input something.
Either.
And I said something. She was like, "The next thing you're going to tell me is that 9/11 wasn't, the story of 9/11 wasn't real."
Wait, she said
that? I knew that she was totally into it. Yeah. And then as I kind of went through it, and I was, I said a few more things, and she was like, and so then what I did was I took one of my business cards, and I wrote UCY on it, and I said, "You're too smart for your own good, lady." I went back in, I said, you can't let a situation where somebody kind of clicks with you mentally,
right.
what and then you can't just, not acknowledge it. So I took the card in, I went back in there, and I said, "Hey, you're too smart for your own good. You might want to tune in." So
that's a good way to do it.
Okay, do you ever go to the market and they ask you for your card, to get a discount? And I go, "No." And this one cashier went, "No? Why not?" And I go, "I don't want to be tracked." And she goes, "Excuse me, don't you want to save this $7 and something?" And I went, "No, I'd rather keep my privacy." And she's giving me my change, and she goes, "What do you mean your privacy?" And meanwhile, the person standing right behind me is listening to this. And I said, "They're tracking everything that you buy to make out a portfolio on you, and they know when you go on vacation and everything from this because you're using your card somewhere else." Mm-hmm. And I go, "It's not about the discount. It's about your privacy." And as I was walking away, the lady behind me, she goes, "Okay, your card number?" She goes, "No, I don't think I want to give it to you."
That's great.
Yeah,
There you go.
I told them my privacy isn't worth a discount. I don't care if it's $20, $10, or $1.
Right.
And, when you say it like that, and because people don't relate the two.
No, it's true.
It's we've just been just hit with the plethora of just too much information.
Mm-hmm.
That's why whatever we see happen, we hear these things, and my friend Greg kind of points this out a lot. He said, "I don't think they're ever going to do anything where they cut the power off."
Right.
Because if people can't watch TV anymore,
right,
they're going to be susceptible to any programming.
They're going to start thinking, though, and
they're going to start thinking. That's right. Yes. So the power going off for a long period of time is probably off the table. The television set, this false reality, this movie. They got to keep playing the movie.
Right.
They got to keep playing the movie.
When power goes out, you talk to your family, you sit around, you play games, you interact with your family, which is something we don't do now.
You play this game. If they don't turn that power on, I'm going to go murder someone.
Yeah.
guy's a killer. The power went off, and he went on a killing spree. No, actually, he just said he was going to kill, but he didn't.
Let the power go out, and right away, what's the first thing you see when the power goes out? Everyone comes outside. No, everyone comes outside. And they all go, true. Wow, did your power go off? Did yours? And then before you know it, you're talking with people. They don't want that.
Yeah, that's true. That's something to think about. But
I met 4 of my neighbors the last time the power went out. Because everybody came outside. And then you ask, did your power go out? And then, well, why go back in? There's no power. So then you stand out there and you start talking. And I've made 4 good friends. So I think the power should go out.
Yeah, that's why they're going to keep it on. They're like, Zorie wants the power to go off. Keep that shit on.
Well, did you hear what they were saying on UCY this morning? Oh, my God, we better rethink this.
That network is the biggest threat to us.
That's right.
And then Alex Jones, and then something else.
Yeah.
But
others, yeah.
Hey,
coast to coast is another dangerous one.
Yeah, coast to coast.
And all, yeah.
Yeah, but when you talk to people about coast to coast, they're like, yeah, they talk about aliens and junk.
I know, but they talk about a lot of things. I like the show usually.
Now it's
used to.
If you listen to it like on one of the syndicated radio stations, isn't there like a boatload of commercials and stuff? I mean, it's like you hear like 5 minutes of Nori talking, and then it's like, now a word from our sponsors. And then like a half hour later, it's like, hi, I'm George Nori, and thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, on mine, I only get it on the computer, so all that's eliminated. But they really have a lot of good guests on anymore, because they're addressing these things that we all address. Besides the aliens and stuff, but who knows about aliens? I don't know. I'm open for anything. I don't close my mind to anything until, I hear about it and I check it out.
There you go.
So, yeah.
Possibilities are endless.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you look at, I was saying this yesterday on the program, I was talking about this show. This Lisa Ling woman was on there on, I forget what channel it was one of the deceptive networks. And, she was interviewing this mother and her daughter, and they were talking about, like her becoming an addict, this, like 55-year-old woman or so, right? So she's like, I never did drugs at all. I never drank, but about 3 years ago or so, I was rollerblading, and I twisted my ankle really bad. So I went to my doctor, and he gave me these drugs. And she said within 3 weeks I was addicted to them because they're not just the regular painkillers. They do something. They dope it. I'm pretty sure that there's fluoride or some kind of
Oxycontin.
toxic antidepressant. Well, I don't think that they were Oxycontin, but her daughter just started taking them because, she was, in the vicinity where the intelligence, the rogue, intelligence agencies, put all the drugs. But you don't even need to do that anymore because, I mean, you've got, people, I don't even know where the pills come from, but they get them and they're like $50 or $60. So she can't afford them after taking them like maybe 1 or 2 times. And then she goes right to heroin.
Right. Well,
and it's like, why isn't someone saying that these pharmaceutical drugs are dangerous for everything? I mean, they should only be taken in a controlled environment. You shouldn't get any more than maybe 1 or 2. But I mean, it's just the pharmaceutical companies are, like we know, are complicit in in the crimes against us. They're just complicit in all the crimes against us.
Pharmaceutical drugs, I believe, are more dangerous than street drugs. And the thing about, you tell people, I think all drugs should be legal, and they go, are you crazy? Well, this and that. And I go, well, wait a minute. If all drugs are legal, you eliminate the black market, even heroin. If a heroin addict can get his heroin without robbing someone or something, then they lead perfectly good lives. But people
but
have
it's
been
never
so
been explained
brainwashed.
Dodie, it's never been explained to them like that. It's never been explained to them. like I'm watching this morning, I'm watching that the city of Philadelphia is going to start getting a little bit more lenient on marijuana. Yeah, Vince and I were talking about this as well yesterday. And they're like, well, you know, if it's under a certain amount of grams, you're just going to get a fine. And then if it's like, oh, if it's this amount, then they're going to confiscate it from you. They started talking to people. Of course, they went to the demographic that's completely brainwashed, women in their 60s.
Right.
Okay, women in their 60s. And they're like, oh, yeah, next thing you know, they're going to be like, they're going to get onto something else. And then they're going to be robbing, they're going to be trying to steal my 1980 VCR.
But they wouldn't have to if they were legal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the bottom line here is that they painted drugs over the years as such a horrific thing. Meanwhile, the ones that are approved by the Fear and Death Administration, they are the ones that fucking kill you.
Yep. You know, the
totally
antidepressants that make you manic. And, yeah, it's crazy. You know, and I ask people, I go, okay, if they legalized all drugs tomorrow, would you go out and do heroin? You know, I mean, common sense.
I wouldn't do heroin.
Well, Maddie put and I was trying to find this article. He put an article, I think I was in the chat real quick on Saturday, like right at the end of your show. But he put in an article that said prescription painkillers are more addictive than crack and heroin combined.
Oh yeah, and they tell you you can't just get off of them. You can't just stop taking them.
No, it's they're way more. The withdrawal effects of that is way more hardcore. Like the withdrawal effects from methadone is way more hardcore than being addicted to regular street heroin.
Look at that. The pharmaceutical company and psychotropic drugs, the United States uses up 95% of those drugs in this country alone. And they make over $250,000 a minute for Prozac.
Shit, more than that.
Let that wrap around your head. A minute.
Yep. Absolutely.
You can go into any psychiatrist anymore. You remember they used to have sessions and you would talk. You can be there a half hour, and before you walk out of there, they're giving you free samples of Prozac and all these, you know, and then you come back and go, oh, I felt good. So then they give it to you. They don't tell you that it's going to turn you into a nutcase within, you know, a couple weeks.
Well, that's why they can test you and say that whether it worked for you or whether it didn't.
Practicing medicine, right.
And then they can say, well, you know what, if this one didn't work for you, we've got this one over here.
Or what, this one made you get a headache? Well, here, take this one to counteract that headache, and then you can take that.
Right.
This one might give you explosive diarrhea, but I wouldn't worry about it.
Right.
I know. I'll read some of the side effects. You notice whenever they advertise them on TV, they go, side effects.
Yeah, there's just a laundry list.
The death is in there.
Death is in there.
Sudden death.
Sudden not breathing for 10, 20 minutes.
Or if you have a heart on for more than 4 hours, go to the hospital.
That's right.
I'm sorry, but you got to get Viagra.
If you had a boner for more than 4 hours, they're gonna cut that shit off, man. I'm telling you right now.
That's what Tim Meadows said that at one point. The ladies' man from SNL. He said, "You have an erection for more than 4 hours. Call more ladies."
Yeah, there you
go. That's funny as.
I remember when they first came out with Viagra, it floored me. I just went, oh my God, how much money did they spend on that and to make an erection for, I don't know. Yeah. It just cracked me up. It still makes me laugh.
And what are the side effects?
Yeah, I don't know. Headaches and what else? 4-hour erection.
Vertigo.
Yeah, there's quite a bit. Hasn't there even been heart attacks related
Sure.
to it?
Oh, absolutely heart attacks. I mean, you know what? Don't even approach me with that crap, man. I'll send you the hell down the road.
But women don't need anything like that. You know, we're the real sex maniacs. You guys just take off the credit.
There you go.
Man, I don't know.
Well, you know, there's a war on women in other areas as well.
Yeah.
Well, there's a war on men, too. I mean, there's a war on all of us.
Yeah.
It's
None of that
just it's
bothers
all mind
me.
control. All the men have to act like Homer Simpson. You know what I mean? I mean, it's true.
I
It's
never seen them, but no, it's a war on humanity. Period. They want you to feel bad about yourself. That's why I've never bought a magazine. One of those girl magazines, Vogue, or any of those. They're just there to make me feel bad.
exactly. I just
You
don't
know?
buy into all this feminist bullshit and tripe about how men are completely useless. I mean,
Right.
it's just all this mind control garbage. And, everybody's like obsessed with like, the size of the member or whatever, but it means nothing. It means it's just
Doesn't.
mind control. And
Yep.
if you don't accept each other for how you come, whole package and everything, then you're just buying into the lie. And that's my whole thing on it, man. I can't
Right. And we
play
do.
that game anymore.
And this pageant for little
Randy.
girls, 4 and 5 years old, to
It
walk down a runway.
is.
Oh my God, they're dressed like women.
They're little
Ah,
tiny. It's sick. It's all just this satanic
The
parade
protocols.
of bullshit.
yep.
The protocols, ladies. The protocols.
It
Of
is.
Instruction.
It's true. It's
It's what
absolutely
we're dealing
true.
with here.
It's full
And,
of shit.
Yeah.
You know why? You know why? Have you ever wondered, like, okay, most of us, we didn't get brainwashed by the TV and stuff. Why is sometimes I go, I have friends and we kind of grew up the same and did the same things, but yet they're brainwashed and I'm not. I can't explain why. Is it in our genes or you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's environmental. It's the
No, I'm in
cartoons
the
that
same
they showed us
environment
when we
that
were
they are,
kids. You know what I mean?
but
Well,
no,
I think what it is that there's people that get brought into awareness by just shit not making sense. Okay, like some people after 9/11 would be like, how come they're not closing the borders? How come they're not doing this? How come they're not doing this? And then you just start, doing research, and then you find what you wouldn't otherwise be looking for.
So it's
Right.
the ones of us that always ask all the questions in school that they didn't want to even see your hand go up because I was that one. I was always questioning everything.
Well,
they
that's
said.
who they labeled with ADD, and they gave him Ritalin. I mean,
Thank goodness they didn't have that when I was growing up.
yeah, thank God they didn't have Ritalin when I was growing up too, man. My mom, I would have been right up there, right on
Yeah,
the podium. Guys, the show is like over.
oh my! Thanks for joining us, Scully. It's always nice to have you.
Yeah, Shelly, it's
Have
great
in
to
us.
pop in, dude. I needed
And
that
you
laugh.
just
So
smile.
thanks a lot.
That's good. Yes.
Well,
We need-
hey, my pleasure. We have to because I do myself. There's just so much negativity out there, and there's so much justifiable fear. I mean, everybody's afraid of this.
And your
Of
heart
this,
needs the happiness. I think it needs laughter.
That's right.
Absolutely. All right. Have a great day.
Thanks,
And
guys.
I'll talk to you both later. Bye bye.
Okay,
Thanks,
bye-bye,
Shelly.
Shelly.
We appreciate it. Well, guys, stay tuned. UCY.TV for more total awesome programming. Let's see. We've got The Edge at 1 with John Stokes, and at 3 is Jack Blood, and then the next live show we got is 9 o'clock. So
Miles per hour, folks. Spread them around. Bye-bye.
absolutely, truth on the tracks, guys.
We've been in the background.
Take care.